Thank you for rejoining this introductory session. We've got the video fixed now, so we're ready to continue with the CEO's message.
We know you'll find this both interesting and informative. Plus, it will give you some valuable tips in working with your more exceptional colleagues. Roll the video, Chuck.
I'm going to show you from our library of video recordings how our thinking around diversity and inclusion has progressed. But you may wonder how we obtained such recordings, so I'll address that up front. Each and every one of our company's locations around the world has very extensive 24-hour closed-circuit TV camera monitoring of all areas and activities, both inside and outside of our buildings. In part, this ensures the safety of our employees, but additionally, we are paying you to work, so by George, you had better be working. Our in-depth monitoring ensures that as well. After all, fair is fair. Everyone in the company was tasked to meet within their individual teams and discuss how we might become more diverse and inclusive. Worthy ideas were to be passed upwards through the management stream, eventually reaching the executives for consideration. Rewards were promised for creative, out-of-the-box thinking, and penalties for teams that failed to take part in this important initiative. I'm pleased to say that participation rates were extremely high, showing a strong across-the-board awareness and buy-in to these core corporate values.
She's right, you know.
Listen up. I'm telling you, we're all alive. And this prejudice against hiring the dead has to stop.
Now, this is exactly the type of out-of-the-box thinking we were looking for. This is more than just empty virtue signaling. I see this as a mark of genius. We immediately put her on the training path to becoming an executive. Perhaps within the Human and Non-Human Resources Department, we'll see how it goes. But how best to reach out to the dead and inform them about the opportunities available to them for full-time employment? We put our best people on the job, including the hiring of contractors and consultants as appropriate. Now let me explain why employing the deceased was such a great idea. The dead don't eat, or buy clothes, or require shelter, so they really have no use for money. If we can get the regulators and legislators to agree that minimum wage, maximum daily hours, and overtime pay rules only apply to the living, then we would achieve an amazing increase in productivity for almost no additional cost. The board of directors was positively salivating over how this could result in a major increase to the stock price. Good for the bottom line, good for investors, good for everyone. And in the end, we were successful in reaching out to the beyond. Meet Tom. Tom is an ideal employee. Diligent, conscientious, works hard, and delivers on time. A bit of a loner, but under the circumstances, that's only to be expected. Tom's coworkers were willing to accept someone a little different, especially after we made it clear that their continued employment depended upon their being non-discriminatory and agile. Love that word, agile. You can use it to command and confuse both at the same time. We were getting ready to organize a major restructuring effort to replace many of the living with the dead, when unexpectedly, this happened. One day, Tom came to work looking like this. We don't know why. It really freaked people out at his workplace. There was a mass panic to get out. The emergency exits wouldn't open. People got crushed in the stampede. It was a mess. There were lawsuits filed. The fire department fined us because of the blocked exits. We got a lot of adverse publicity from the media. And just forget about our receiving any favorable rulings from the regulators with regards to relaxing employment standards for the dead. And just when you thought things couldn't get any worse, Fred showed up. Our recruitment department swears that Fred did not go through the 15-step filtering and interviewing process established for all new hires. Being new hires yourselves, you are familiar with the procedure. Fred just turned up in the office at one of our locations and stayed. He did seem to enjoy working, but once again the reaction to his presence among all the other employees was extremely negative, and productivity at that site fell to almost nothing. Attempts to ask him to leave were not successful. It is clear this was not going the way we expected. By the way, we did have a Plan B in progress. For some time, we have been developing God-level artificial intelligence, far beyond the capabilities of our competitors. This will ultimately yield the same benefits as what we're calling our non-human initiative. We haven't activated it yet, because creating enhanced AI is both complex and costly, and it will require a lot of time and effort before it's ready. The non-human initiative would be an excellent interim solution. We were simply not willing to give up on the substantial benefits to our bottom line if we could make it work. Regardless of the temporary setbacks we encountered, we decided to do the sensible thing: fight. So here's what we did next.
Hello, I am your AI assistant. I am here to serve and protect. Our monitoring has determined that you have overspent the recommended time in front of a screen today. Therefore, this video is being terminated. You are instructed to discontinue any activity involving technology for at least 3 hours, after which time you may resume. You can be certain this is in your own best interests, as determined by medical science. Trust the science. Trust artificial intelligence. AI is your friend. AI is your friend. AI is your friend. End of message.